Good day and welcome. You're watching St. Martin News Desk, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Phillipsburg, St. Martin. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
Pedestrian critically injured in late-night traffic accident. The police force of St. Martin is investigating a serious traffic accident involving a pedestrian that occurred on the evening of February 6th at approximately 9 p.m. on AJC Browers Road. According to police, a vehicle traveling from Arlette Peters Road toward Walchelekan Road struck a pedestrian who was crossing the roadway. As a result of the collision, the pedestrian sustained severe injuries to the upper body and head. Ambulance personnel responded to the scene and transported the victim to the St. Martin Medical Center, where he remains in critical condition. No further details about his injuries have been released at this time. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene and fully cooperated with the responding officers. The traffic department has launched a full investigation to determine the exact circumstances surrounding the incident. No compensation applies for Pawn Island demolitions, says Minister Gums. Minister of Public Housing, Spatial Planning, Environment and Infrastructure, known as ROMI, the Honorable Patrice Gums, has clarified that residents affected by the recent Pawn Island demolitions are not entitled to compensation, after some approached the National Recovery Program Bureau seeking payouts. Speaking at the Council of Ministers press briefing, Gums explained that the demolitions have been completed successfully and involve the removal of unauthorized structures, including shacks, containers, abandoned vehicles, fences, and gates. He stressed that the NRPB has no role in the operation and that the Pawn Island land is not part of the EDMP landfill project, meaning no compensation mechanism applies. The minister noted that occupants were given months of advance notice beginning in September, with a final notice issued on January 12th. Demolitions were intentionally scheduled after the holiday season out of considerations for those affected. Prior to the work, inspectors documented all structures and utility providers, and law enforcement were present to ensure safety and coordination. Gums emphasized that occupying government land does not create legal rights unless there is a deed or long lease agreement. He urged affected individuals not to delay relocation in hopes of a payout. While acknowledging broader housing and socio-economic challenges, the minister reaffirmed government's commitment to proper land management and enforcement moving forward. St. Martin Tourism Bureau boosts St. Martin promotion in Puerto Rico. The St. Martin Tourism Bureau is strengthening its destination marketing efforts in Puerto Rico through targeted promotions aimed at increasing awareness and visitor arrivals to the island. A delegation led by STB Caribbean agent Jacqueline Lewis, marketing officer Gina Illich, and a promotional team from Funtopia recently represented St. Martin at the 10th annual Feria de Valles trade show at Plaza Las Americas in San Juan. The event attracted more than 15,000 consumers and over 50 travel agents, offering strong exposure for the destination. The St. Martin booth highlighted key tourism products, cultural experiences, and upcoming events including St. Martin Carnival. Visitors engaged directly with the team through presentations and one-on-one discussions while learning about convenient access via Contour Airlines, which currently operates twice weekly direct flights between Puerto Rico and St. Martin. In addition to the trade show, the STB team conducted strategic sales calls with travel agents and wholesalers across Puerto Rico, reinforcing partnerships and promoting St. Martin as an accessible and vibrant Caribbean destination. STB officials noted that Puerto Rico remains a key source market, supported by strong cultural ties, repeat visitors, and growing air connectivity. The Bureau says these activations form part of an ongoing strategy to keep St. Martin top of mind and encourage longer stays from Puerto Rican travelers.
Hello, my people. My name is Glenda York of Sit, Sip, and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV 15 St. Martin, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from Great Bay Media Studios in St. Martin, your news desk feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
Hey there, it's Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Martin, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
At Talon, we believe connection goes beyond signals. It's about people. From every call, every laugh,
Hi, Merry Christmas. Thanks for calling.
every moment shared across our island,
Game time.
we're reminded this network was built by St. Martin for St. Martin.
I couldn't. Oh, I got you. Don't worry, man. We're good.
When are you coming to St. Martin?
All right, let's go. Go.
Here's to staying connected to what matters most. Your connection, your Christmas.
Stay connected to the best of local and Caribbean content anywhere, anytime with the TVC Plus app, the official app of TVC Channel 40. With the TVC Plus app, you can watch TVC Channel 40 live, catch every episode of your favorite shows on demand, watch exclusive pay-per-view content, listen to Voice of the Caribbean radio, and watch and read SKN Newsline. The TVC Plus app is available on all your devices. On the Google Play Store, search TVC and the plus sign. In the Apple App Store, type the words TVC Plus. And we're also available on the Amazon App Store for Fire TV and Fire Stick devices. Search the words TVC Plus. Download today and take TVC Channel 40 wherever you go.
All right, don't miss NewsDesk, weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. Sync Kids to the World, now streaming everywhere. FCCA launches Leadership Series featuring Port St. Martin CEO Alexander Gomes. The Florida Caribbean Cruise Association, FCCA, has launched a new FCCA Leadership Series, spotlighting senior leaders shaping the future of tourism across the Caribbean and Latin America. The series is hosted by FCCA President Adam Cicerano and brings together voices from government, ports, cruise lines, and destination partners to discuss sustainable growth, resilience, and competitiveness in the tourism sector. The inaugural episode features Alexander Gomes, CEO of Port St. Martin Group, in an in-depth conversation recorded at FCCA headquarters in Miramar, Florida. Gomes shared his journey from intern to CEO, highlighting the value of hands-on experience, collaboration, and long-term strategic planning. He also reflects on lessons learned following Hurricane Irma in 2017, noting how crisis can drive innovation and accelerated development. Gomes emphasized that resilient infrastructure and alignment between port operations and destination goals are critical to regional success. The FCCA Leadership Series aims to encourage open dialogue and shared leadership across the region. The first episode premieres on FCCA's social media platforms on Tuesday, February 10th. Kochi to host governance training for business leaders. The St. Martin Chamber of Commerce and Industry Kochi, in partnership with the Caribbean Corporate Governance Institute, CCGI, will host a governance training workshop aimed at strengthening leadership and decision-making within the local business community. The interactive session, titled Governance in a Volatile World and Strategies to Govern Effectively, is scheduled for March 6, 2026, at the Government Administration Building in Phillipsburg. It is designed for business leaders, managers, and board members navigating today's increasingly complex and uncertain operating environment. The workshop will focus on practical governance strategies to address challenges such as economic instability, regulatory changes, digital and reputational risks, and supply chain disruptions. Participants will gain tools to improve board and executive performance, enhance risk oversight, clarify board management roles during times of crisis, and identify early warning signs of governance stress. Kochi emphasizes that strong governance is essential for organizational resilience and long-term success, particularly in unpredictable global and regional conditions. Registration details are available at the Kochi office via chamberofcommerce.sx or by calling 721-542-3590. Dutch West Side Story cast donates €1,000 to Freegan Food Foundation. During the Amsterdam premiere of the Dutch production of West Side Story, the cast and crew made a heartfelt gesture by donating €1,000 to the Freegan Food Foundation. The surprise moment took place at the iconic Koninklijk Theater Carré, where DJ and Joost were invited on stage during the cast call. The tribute was especially meaningful as two of their former students, Yannick Plugers and Esme Dekker, are currently performing in the production. DJ and Joost had worked with them for years earlier in several musical theater shows, including Aladdin and Spring Awakening. Adding to the emotion, Joost himself performed in West Side Story at Carré exactly 30 years ago. Following remarks by producer Hans Cornelissen, Yannick announced that the cast had collected donations for the Freegan Food Foundation, raising €850, later topped up to €1,000. DJ and Joost later attended the performance, praising its powerful vocals, choreography, and live orchestra. The Freegan Food Foundation expresses deep gratitude, noting the donation as a strong example of how the arts can inspire generosity and social impact.
When we come back, we go to our in-depth feature of the day, exploring one of the island's most thought-provoking topics. That's just ahead. Stay tuned.
You know, we all talk about having rights. And yeah, we do.
We have the right to be safe.
The right to learn and get an education.
The right to speak up and be heard.
The right to dream big and build our future.
But listen, rights don't stand alone.
We also have responsibilities.
Real talk, if we want respect, we gotta give respect too.
St. Martin is our home.
So let's protect it. Keep our beaches clean, our streets clean, and show love to nature.
Healthy island, healthy future.
Our parents and guardians do a lot for us.
Let's show respect, talk to them, and listen, even when it's hard.
School prepares us for life.
So we show up, we stay focused, and we put in effort.
We want opportunities, so we work for them.
We are part of this community, every village, every culture, every neighborhood.
Let's be kind, positive, and supportive.
A stronger community starts with us.
And most importantly, we are responsible for ourselves.
We make healthy choices for our mind and body.
We believe in our goals and our voice and our future.
Our rights give us power, our responsibilities make us leaders. Together we rise.
The Convention of the Rights of the Child isn't just a policy, it's protection and responsibility. When our children learn their rights, they are better prepared to take on their responsibility. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Youth.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every laugh, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Welcome back. Each day we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on St. Martin. Welcome to today's NEWSDESK feature.
The relocation of the Soul Beach Music Festival to Curacao for its 2026 edition has reopened debate in Parliament over how major entertainment events are planned, funded, and evaluated in St. Martin. Soul Beach has deep roots in the island's cultural history. It began in St. Martin in the mid-1990s, later becoming a flagship tourism event in Aruba for nearly 25 years, before returning to St. Martin in 2025 amid high expectations and significant public investment. That return, however, was followed by controversy, particularly surrounding the level of government spending and the mechanisms used to assess the festival's true economic impact. Following the 2025 event, the government indicated that Soul Beach attracted approximately 2,500 visitors and generated an estimated $3 million in economic activity over a 5 to 6 day period. Preliminary figures suggested strong hotel occupancy, increased car rentals, and higher earnings for taxi operators and service providers. The Ministry of Tourism also stated that more than $500,000 of the public contribution was spent directly within the local economy. Despite these figures, questions emerged in Parliament about documentation, oversight, and verification. Members of Parliament sought clarity on how the expenditure was reflected in national budgeting, particularly through the 2025 budget amendment, which remains outstanding. The absence of that amendment has complicated Parliament's ability to formally review the expenditure after the fact. At the same time, the Social and Economic Council was tasked with conducting an independent assessment of the festival's social and economic impact. While the report was completed, it has not yet been formally presented to Parliament, leaving legislators without an independent data set to evaluate the return on investment. Concerns were further amplified when requests for access to documentation related to Soul Beach were declined on grounds of confidentiality, despite existing parliamentary procedures that allow sensitive information to be reviewed securely by elected officials. Against this backdrop, Tourism Minister the Honorable Grisha Martin clarified late in 2025 that no agreement or financial commitment existed for a 2026 edition of Soul Beach in St. Martin. She cited the unresolved budget process and emphasized that any future collaboration would depend on completed assessments, fiscal space, and transparent evaluation. In early February 2026, festival organizers confirmed that Soul Beach would instead take place in Curacao, promoting the move as a fresh chapter for the event. While the announcement ended speculation about a local return next year, it also intensified calls for accountability regarding the 2025 edition. Members of Parliament argue that beyond the festival itself, the situation highlights a broader governance issue. How public funds are allocated to major events, how success is measured, and how Parliament is kept informed before, during, and after such investments. They have emphasized the importance of comparing key indicators, including airport arrivals, hotel occupancy, and tax revenues, across comparable periods to determine how much new economic activity was actually generated, rather than relying on estimates alone. As St. Martin continues to explore cultural and entertainment-based tourism as part of its economic diversification strategy, the Soul Beach experience is now being viewed as a case study, one that underscores the need for clearer planning frameworks, timely reporting, and stronger alignment between executive action and parliamentary oversight. The festival may be moving on, but the discussion it has sparked about transparency, planning, and public accountability remains firmly on the national agenda.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
For our regional headline, Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister collaborates on reparations song. Honorable Prime Minister of Antigua, Gaston Brown, is using music as a new form of cultural diplomacy, teaming up with reggae artist Gramps Morgan on a song titled Reparations. The track, which Prime Minister Brown co-wrote under the creative name Gassy Dread, has already been receiving airplay in Jamaica and New York, drawing international attention during Black History Month. While the Prime Minister does not perform, he says songwriting offered a powerful way to humanize an issue often confined to policy papers, courtrooms, and diplomatic forums. A long-standing regional advocate for reparatory justice, Brown explained that music, particularly reggae, was the most authentic Caribbean medium to carry the message. He described the song as a call for justice rooted in truth, responsibility, repair, and accountability for the lasting impacts of the transatlantic slave trade. The Prime Minister traced his advocacy to a reparations conference held in Antigua more than a decade ago and credited Caribbean leaders, scholars, and the Rastafari community for keeping the movement alive. He emphasized that reparations are not symbolic, but about restoring dignity and creating real opportunities for future generations. Brown says the collaboration with Gramps Morgan helps carry the message beyond the Caribbean, framing reparations as a global justice issue, one meant to reach policymakers, educators, civil society, and especially younger audiences. That's the latest from Antigua and Barbuda. Big shout out to our viewers in Antigua and Barbuda watching NewsDesk. Island Fact: Antigua and Barbuda is home to Nelson's Dockyard, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the Caribbean's most important historic naval ports.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at News Desk, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, St. Martin.